Hello everyone, I'm Billy Drosopoulos, and the topic of my inquiry was Autobell exploitation. I was trying to figure out how exactly teenagers are being exploited at Autobell and how to fix the issue. What was I looking for? Throughout Autobell, there are numerous examples of exploitation of teenage workers. The goal is to see how they are exploited and what to do about the issue. Many workers in Autobell are teenagers. Why that is? Is it because they're easier to get the individuals to work for you? Is it because teenagers are generally scared to stand up to management? Teenagers aren't necessarily matured yet, and they don't feel like they can stand up for themselves, so they almost all the time feel intimidated by individuals that hold higher positions. Throughout the inquiry, I discussed many forms of injustice, and you'll see them again in this. Examples of exploitation: not allowing individuals to leave work when trying to quit. I experienced this myself about 4 months in to my 7 month time of work at Autobell. I asked to put my 2 weeks notice in, and management said no, and that I couldn't leave just yet because they were getting really busy and they needed all the help they could get. So that's one reason. Lack of breaks during long work days. Some days can be about 30 degrees, and some days can be as much as maybe 103, 104. And when you're working about 7 hours straight, asking for a break, um, you're not always going to get that break. It's kind of up to management and how they feel about how hard you've worked. So, difficult to obtain a raise in salary. It's even difficult to obtain maybe even a 50-cent raise, as much even 25-cent raise in your hourly wage. It's kind of even if you've been working there for almost 7 months, they won't even give you a raise. So keep that in mind. Cheating and drug tests. Autobell has a mouth swab when every employee is hired. The majority of the employees at Autobell fail their drug tests, but they dispose of the evidence in a trash can and just mark it down as positive, as negative, that the employee passed the test. So that's the end of that. And intimidation and threatening to fire you continuously as you grow through the process of learning. They can't really talk to you as easily as they did before. They kind of threaten you with losing your job, and it's kind of ridiculous. How to fix the issue. Creating awareness about the issue will ultimately lead to publicity and creating an understanding of the issue. Not necessarily only Autobell, but we can use Autobell as an example that teenagers are being consistently exploited in every form of work, and this just needs to stop. You can create newspaper advertisements and just everything. Giving teens the option to stand up and not always admit defeat. As I stated before, when teenagers are put in a position of um, when they're put in a position that they can't really talk down to someone, they kind of admit the defeat and walk on and continue with their day. But that's not always the case because it's not always the right thing to do. Getting parents involved. At the ages of 16, 17, sometimes 18, parents are still pretty involved in a teenager's life, and it's pretty important to get a parent's point of view. And if things need to be done, the parents need to get involved, and for even their own son or daughter safety. Contact the head corporate office if issues persist or worsen. It's pretty important to contact a higher power of a company when things aren't really going necessarily the right way. Even management has to answer to corporate. So if you call corporate and talk to them about what's going on, I'm sure that they can understand your issues. Now, please enjoy the short interview that I had with Chris Xiravakis. He is a current Autobell employee, and he's been working there for about a year and a half. Thank you.
All right, I'm here with Chris Xiravakis, and he's actually working at Autobell currently. I'm just gonna ask him a few questions about how he feels about how Autobell treats him. So, have you ever been exploited at Autobell?
Yes, many times.
Give me some reasons.
First off, they think I'm too young to be able to drive a stick shift vehicle, or I don't know how to detail or know how to change a battery or jump someone's car. Don't think I'm capable of doing anything yet. I put in the most amount of work there.
How would you possibly change how they treat you? Like, what would you do to combat these issues?
Showing them that I can do everything on my own. I don't need their help. Not ask them for questions. Just fix things without asking for anything to be done.
Do you think parents need to get involved or anything like that, or do you think at this age you should be able to just take responsibility for your own actions, stuff like that?
I'm responsible enough to take care of myself.
Okay.
It doesn't need parents to get involved.
All right. Thank you.
No problem, sir.